The CAD is very strong. Exactly, Dev. But I mean, tomorrow or Monday, Ben will show you the entries. So we want to stay away from the CAD. So the next one I'm going to look at is the the euro dollar, and then the pound dollar. So let's take the euro dollar. This is really, the euro is in a bad shape, and this is the evidence, or one of the evidences, that you are looking what for the buy for the dollar Swiss. 36 or 40 doesn't matter much. I mean, 1 or 2 pips or 4 pips or even 10 pips in the yeah, 36.40 is good enough. Okay, this, guys, is extremely bearish. This is one structure point, the 143. You got a failure, capitulation, turn back, gets back test the structure, and then failure again. You got, this is now really serious. The close of the week is 141.16. The low of the previous day is 141.22. It was even unable to get back above the low. This is as weak as it gets, and it gives us an easy buy signal and maybe a little bit harder sell signal, but that's what it does. So let's see, 141. This is our structure. Just want to double check the 142.16. I want to make sure that it is right. Sometimes these lines move. Yeah, this is pretty strong. This is a good structure point. And I have the 140.35. So let's see where we go. You can see the capitulation that came into the euro. What we can do, we can use this as a minor buy point. It is not a trend change, but you can use the 151, the 141.55 or 141.60. I'm looking at this congestion. I wanted to pass this congestion. You just have to be and we're going to sell it below the low. $140.65. See, from last week we were selling it at 143. It closed the week at 141.16. You got about 180 pips on that. Yes. So this is going to be 140.65. This is my shorting point. we're going to buy it above 141.55, and it's a short. Okay, and if I buy it at 45, I'll place my stop below 141.23. Okay, and if I go short below 140.65, I'm not going to give it too much room, because if it gets below the 165, it should capitulate. It should, a break below the 65 should take us easy to the 35, to 14035, and of course if it does take that down, it is going to take us to, as you all remember, the 138. This is a pretty major point, the 138. 82, this is pretty major. So if it does break this, then that is, as soon as it breaks the 140.35, you're looking at a big push of 100 pips to the downside. So that is a pretty strong setup, and that is the expectation on the trade. This is what we expect to see after a break below this. And therefore, if I have such a high expectation of the trade, then my stop is going to be small. I'm not going to allow it to come back against me if it doesn't capitulate to the downside. So I'm going to go short below the 140.65, and I'm going to place my stop right above that minor structure here, which is, in this case, we'll call it the 141.23. So my short stop is also one and the same, 141.23. So my long stop and the short stop is one and the same. My structure short is 140.35. And my structure long is 142.16. So to wrap this, the euro, our bias is to the downside. I want to take it when it breaks the low at 140.65, and if it does, the next structure point is 30 pips away, and therefore it should lead. If it goes below it, it's just, the structure is a magnet on either side, so now this is going to pull it down from 140.65. It should test quickly the 140.35, and if it breaks below it, it should take us all the way down to the next structure point. Therefore we're not going to give it too much room as a stop. We're using our stop as 141.23. On the long side, we're going to buy it above 141.55, and that is our buying point. Our structure long is 142.16, and my stop in both cases is the 141.23. Okay, and the bias, as I said, is more towards the downside than it is to the upside. This means if you take the buy, you want to be taking it, you're not looking now for a trend change, you're not looking for you're looking for, Carlos, when you were saying how far I go, this is one of the trades you don't let it run too much. Okay,